Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another dungeon guide for Conan Exiles. In this video, I will be covering the Black Keep dungeon. So if you guys enjoy this video, please do not forget to support me and the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos. And why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on this channel. Who knows, you might just enjoy them. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Southtopia Discord. Links to this, of course, you can find down below in the video's description, as well as in a pinned comment from myself. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. Now, the dungeon has had some changes to it in that the undead do not take bleed damage nor poison damage anymore. So that, of course, also applies to the boss, which is also undead. In the past, you were able to dot him up with poison and bleed and just pretty much kite him around the room. Now that has changed and he has a very weird and long range on his weapon. Plus, he does a lot of damage if he catches you. You can do this at level 50. I do recommend level 60 and unlocking the star metal tools. So I will be using the dragon bone weapon set. I will be using the level 50 armor set, so this is heavy armor. We do want that protection. Also, the undead do also apply corruption, and I've got some food, some potions, some water with me, and a lot of hardened steel arrows. So obviously the dragon bone set is easy to get. If you haven't watched that video, I do have a guide on how to solo the undead dragon. He is ridiculously easy to do. I've got some normal meat and obviously some aloe vera potions, and that's kind of it. These are my stats. So I've got encumbrance pretty much maxed out. Normally I wear the royal armor set, which maxes it out and gives me the final perk in encumbrance, allowing me to move normally when I'm over encumbered. Other than that, it is 30 points in vitality, and this is where it's important because you want the passive regeneration, and at least 20 points in strength for the added damage to enemies that have negative debuffs on them. You'll also want the third tier of the armor plating, as this adds to the armor value, and I personally recommend the veneer heavy armor. This is it right here, so it should be at the bottom. You can this is the epic version, by the way, so this is what you can unlock at level 60, but I'm not going to be using this. I am going to be using the normal veneer armor set. Of course, that is going to be the heavy stuff. This is what we will obtain from the dungeon. It is a ridiculously powerful armor set, and as I said, I'm going to be using the level 50 veneer armor set, which is less than the epic one. As you can see, I've got the dragon bone stuff, and if you guys want to see how to do that, guys, solo, and you can do it at pretty much any level as long as you've got the star metal tools and weapons unlocked. It's worth doing. He is over here in the sinkhole, and I have a guide for that, which I will of course link in this video, both at the end as well as in a annotation or something like that. Additionally, what you will want is the enhanced weapon kit. You do want to increase your damage output as much as possible. I could of course also do this with a normal two-handed weapon at level 50, but the difference is not that much. We're not going to be using melee all that much. We're only going to be using melee weapons just for the trash until we get to the boss, so it really doesn't make all that difference. You can also unlock, and I do recommend, the hardened steel arrows, as these are quite important. This is what we're going to be using on the boss. You do want a very good damaging bow. It doesn't matter if it's legendary or whatever. However, the dragon bone sets does have similar values to the legendary weapons and are a lot easier to repair. They only require pretty much dragon bones. Once you've crafted it, that's all it does. I think it's 3 to 5 pieces of dragon bone, so definitely easy to repair. They do have a decent durability. Other than that, the dungeon is pretty much straightforward. I will show you the path to the boss and what you need to look out for, and how to kite all of the creatures in the dungeon safely so that you can complete this dungeon. I would personally recommend going in at level 60, but of course you can do it at level 50 or maybe even lower if you are prepared. Just bear in mind that you will get corruption from the undead, and so that will constitute a bit of a let's call it a handicap for lack of better words. So do bear that in mind. You want to take out the skeletons as quick as possible. This is where it is located. So there's like a step or pathway going up this way. I'm going to spawn in there or teleport using the admin commands. You know what I mean. Oh, dearie. Right, so it should be somewhere below us. Now I could fly down, but I'm going to try and make my way down without flying. And hopefully I don't kill myself. Which is the most common thing that I tend to do when I need to get down from somewhere very high. Okay. This could go very wrong. Hopefully not. Perfect. And there's the sound glitch as well, because hey, why not? That seems to be a common thing with the game. So I want to get to that over there. There we go. There's the sound delay. Finally. So I want to get to that point right there. There we go. And perfect. Oh, that was so well timed. So underneath me there is an undead skeleton. That's going to hurt. So I'm going to be careful. I want to assess the environment before I actually jump down there. Oh, never mind. That failed. Oh well. Let's go and take this guy on. Oh, this sound glitch. So annoying. So as you see, he's hit me once. He's already started applying corruption. There we go. I mean, the heavy armor will help with reducing the amount of damage that we take. There seems to be a bit of lag with everything else. This is obviously on a server, so that might be a thing. Reading, there's a lag again. What? Hey.
Who struck the first blow? I cannot say.
Oh, just get my bearings here.
You,
Don't think it's this way. Just quickly check. Okay, never mind. We're gonna wait. Go away. It's definitely here. Oh, that noise. That noise. So it's not this way. See, every time I spawn up there, I'm so disoriented. Chest over here for those that are interested. Ah, there it is. Jeesh. Right, this is the entrance. This is what we're after. Okay, perfect. And always loot these guys. They do sometimes have very good stuff, both food as well as materials. There's a chest over there. I might as well show you what's in it. Obviously, it will vary when you open it up. We can get different things, but always worth having a bit of a look. So the dungeon is straight away. You will have to get a key, which you get to keep as well. But I'll show you how to get to the key in a tad bit. Okay, so from this point forward, we're not going to go right. We want to go left. If you go right, you will end up going the wrong way. But you can go right if you want to explore the dungeon and see what you can find. So definitely not that way. I'm going to go this way. So that'll be the left side, by the way. So I just wanted to show everybody the room just so they know what they look like or what it looks like and what to expect for those that have not been in this dungeon. I'm also going to be referring to those that have been in the dungeon but may possibly be struggling due to some of the changes in the dungeon. So over here we should have two little minions. We want to carefully pull them one at a time. We don't want to deal with too many of them. So there's one on the right side, one on the left side. I'm going to try and kite them one at a time to reduce the amount of times that I get hit by the weapons, as it does apply the corruption. We want to get to the boss with as little corruption on us as possible. and having multiple NPCs hitting us at the same time does increase the chances of corruption being applied to us. So I want to be hit as few times as possible. Obviously I'm using a two-handed weapon, meaning I cannot have a shield, and I also do advise picking up the good arrows that you find. It does beat having to craft them. I normally tend to stockpile them for when I actually need it. Okay, so got some food over here. I'll pick that up. This room, nothing special. We're just going to go around this thing, and then on that end there's a doorway, so we'll go through that. I'm going to obviously sheath my weapon so I have the passive healing. Obviously nothing this way. We're going to go through this funky looking doorway. This point forth we should have some stairs that we need to go up. Not that door, so this way. And soon enough we should come to some more undead that we'll have to fight. I'm just taking my time and healing. Obviously I should probably use normal food, not the spiced food, because it does affect my water. We don't want to dehydrate in this dungeon. So we've got the stairs. We're going to go up the stairs all the way to the top. There's a chest over here. Might as well loot it or have a look in it and see what you get. So another funky looking doorway. Obviously only one way to go. Do bear in mind there is an undead that you will aggro immediately as you go in, and I suggest dealing with him before you get the other two skeletons aggroed, as you don't want to be fighting too many of these guys. So he's got some wraps. We'll take those. I'll take any healing item, especially seeing as by looting it I don't have to craft it myself. Somewhere on these shelves there will be another chest. You do want to just creep forward and kite them towards you one at a time. Do not use arrows to kite them, as you will kite both of them. Just walk forward until one is aggroed on you, then walk backwards. There we go. We've got some more star metal right there. Some decent arrows. Okay, that's where the chest is. I was looking at the wrong shelf. Okay, more wraps. I'll also take the drink as well, because hey, why not? That might come in handy. This is the chest I was on about. Nothing special here. At the end of this room there will be some more undead, so heal yourself. Or at the end of this hallway as such. It's not really a room. We're not going down that way. Or you can do if you want to explore, but we want to do the boss, and that's what we're here for. There we go. Okay, I kind of aggroed both of them. That's fine. So I'm just going to have them in the hallway, because that way I can keep them grouped together and use the AoE damage on the two-handed sword to take them out at the same time. Okay, so we'll take the arrows. We definitely want those bad boys. And, oh, gold dust, I'll take that. And the sickle as well. That's about it. Now obviously, because I do not have unlimited encumbrance in this anymore, because I'm wearing heavy armor and not the royal armor, which is what I tend to do, and that caps out my encumbrance, allowing me to move normally when I'm over encumbered. I am picky as to what I'm looting, and I suggest you do the same. If you do have your encumbrance maxed out, what I suggest you do is do not become over encumbered. While you can move normally whilst over encumbered with that specific buff, you do use more stamina. And in this dungeon, stamina is quite important. So as you saw there are two skeletons. I'll try and deal with one at a time as usual. Okay, that's kind of done for him. There's food right there. I'll take that. Thank you, sir. What about you? Oh, get back here. You, get back into my sword. Stop moving around. And he's down. There's a note here if you want to read, and if you like the lore. I always like to read them. The devs have gone through quite a bit of trouble to put them in the game, and there's always an interesting little story there to entertain myself with. And I do like, so far, the lore of the game, so I do like reading those things. Now, here we have two doors. The one on the right is the one we want to go through, but it's locked and we need to get a key, so we'll need to go through this first door first. And that's pretty much it. So this door will open up. We'll go and get a key that will be at the end of this path. There we will also have to fight 4 skeletons. So very important there, you don't want to fight them all at the same time. We do want to aggro them one at a time. So we can just about aggro the first 2 one at a time, and then we'll have to fight the other 2 as a group. But I'll show you how to do that as well. So right around this corner, right here in this room, there are 2 skeletons on this side and another 2 on the opposite side. So right here there'll be 2 skeletons. You can see one, and one's up the steps. So I'll go and kind of get this guy's attention. Come on. I'm just creeping forward slowly. There we go. That's it. Good boy. I'm going to run around the corner. Do not want to aggro the other ones. That is a possibility. And whilst he's around the corner, the others are just happy not knowing. You know, what they don't know won't hurt them. There we go. We got some more star metal. Definitely a good source of star metal in this place. Okay, so there's 2 on that side. I want to get this guy. So I'm going to go around this pillar. As you can see, there's one of them. I'm going to try and get close to him. So the idea is, remember, around your character there is a ring or a circle. It's invisible to you, but that's how the game actually calculates your aggro. You want that ring, that invisible ring, to connect with the NPC you want to aggro, then run away. If you do hit the NPC and aggro him that way, you will pretty much aggro the entire room, which can complicate situations. But we've done what we set out to do. There's one on that end and there's one at the other end right there, so we're going to try and get these guys' attention somehow safely. Obviously I got both of them, so I'm going to kind of deal with them in the hallway, where I can funnel them into a small group and use the walls of the hallway to keep them together so I can take them out at the same time. So as you can see, I've taken a fair amount of corruption. This can be healed if you do have a Heart of the Hero with you. If you've gone to the Unnamed City and fought the human NPC mini bosses, you do get the Heart of a Hero, which does cure corruption. But you can't do it without actually curing corruption, which is what I'm going to show as well. So that is the key that we get from the chest. That is an actual physical key that you can keep. And so next time you come in the dungeon, you don't have to do this path over and over again. I do like that little detail. I mean, it's not that difficult to get anyways, but I thought I might as well show that. So the door should open up easily, and then we go to our left. So we'll go to this door, which is now unlocked. That is quite loud. My health is alright, so we're not going down that way. We don't have any issues down that way. We want to go through this doorway. I'll just show you what is around. Then we have to go up a set of steps and through some more hallways before we get to the room that has the boss. And we should be quite close to him now. There's another little diary journal thing going on here. So right after this we should get to this guy's room. There he is. He's already aggroed on us. Do bear that in mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run around this side, There are 2 skeletons. I'm going to take these guys out really quick. We do not want to be dealing with them and the boss at the same time, as that is a big no-no. We obviously... Okay, where is he? Right. Oh, I want to loot you, sir. Thank you. I'll take those as well. So, I know where he is. I'm going to let him come towards me a tad bit. Then I'm going to walk around the outer perimeter of this room to the opposite end and deal with the other skeleton. Now, before I actually get into the fight and the mechanics, I do want to show you something. Now, if you're only coming here to do the boss for the armor that he teaches, well, you can just learn it without actually fighting him. The boss himself is not particularly fast, and so let's figure out where this guy is at the moment. Okay, that's where he is. So there are a total of 5 tablets to interact with that will teach you the armor set and the 2 weapons that can be learned. So I'm just going to wait for him to come slightly towards this corner, then I'll show you what you can do if you just want to do this guy for the purpose of that. If you want to do him for the items, well, actually you want to defeat him if you want to get Teal of Sorrow. You'll need his heart. I'll just wait for it to get close to this direction. I'm just going to run up here. This is the first tablet that you want to interact with. Then there's another one on this end. Then there's one right here where he was, or right behind him actually. Third one. And the last 2 tablets are up here. It's not very explanatory, but you do want to do these. Now you can do that before you fight the boss or after. It makes no difference. I probably suggest doing it before if you're uncertain about your chances of winning him. As you can see, he does not move very fast, and so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be running around the room, peppering him with arrows. Very important to note is that bleed does not work on him anymore, neither does poison. He also has a very, very, very long range on that sword, and he does do some combos and some abilities that you really want to avoid because they will hurt. Now, where has he gone? Aha! So I am only going to be using the heavy attacks on the arrow. I'm going to wait for him to come up the steps. Now you can fire towards his torso and head if you want, and when he moves, as you'll see right here, I will fire slightly just before him so that my arrow does make contact with him. Also, don't forget that we have that bonus damage on creatures that have negative debuffs, so if you fire towards his legs, he will get crippled, which will add to the damage. I will only be using the heavy attacks on the arrow. That was one of his abilities right there. We don't really want to get too close to him. Now obviously at this point I can't really hit his legs, so I'm going to go for the torso. Every little damage counts towards the end of this, and as you'll see, he will be very easy to avoid. So sometimes you'll do this and just stand there. We'll just remind him why we're here. So at first I'm just going to show you what it's like with this combination just by firing at his torso. Then I will move to his leg, and you'll see that the boss does take a bit more damage. If you run out of stamina, do not panic, just walk away. You do actually walk faster than he does, so nothing to worry about there. Now as he comes up the steps here, I'm going to fire just before him, that way my arrows will connect with him. Don't forget, your arrow does have a distance to travel before it gets to its destination, and whilst he's not fast, if you fire at him, you stand a better chance of missing him. So already I've done a decent amount of damage to him. I'm not gonna let him get too close to me. Whoop, he got me there. So this is how not to do it. I don't know why I did it that way, but I guess you saw that. I'll show you how to do it with the next round. I was a bit too close to him. That was my bad. He did hit me, but did not do that much damage to me anyway. So that is thanks to the heavy armor set that I'm wearing. That is, of course, the heavy veneer armor set. I'm just going to go up here now. So as you can see, yes, it is taking a bit of time, but it is doable. His health is going down, and it would probably be faster if you fought him 1v1, you know, face tanking him and everything, but it's not an easy thing to do, and there are many risks involved. And with something like this that has a crazy range on its weapon and attacks and does a lot of damage, I prefer being at a safe distance. So you want to run around these pillars, not before them, otherwise you're too close to him and he will use his AoE attacks and most likely get you, so do bear that in mind. So notice that I am kiting him on the outer perimeter of this boss room, so that gives me plenty of time to move from one point to the other, and then as he's coming towards me I will just fire arrows. So now I'm going to go for the legs. There goes a cripple, there goes another cripple, and it does actually help with a bit of damage. So you want to cripple him all the time when you do hit him, where possible. Obviously sometimes you will be behind objects and obstacles and his legs may not be visible, such as when he's coming up these steps. As you can see, I don't need to run, I can just walk and outwalk him because he's slower than me. Again, fire before him, that way you will hit him. So now I'm going to take a bit of a risk and try and fire another arrow. This is cutting it very close right now, as you heard. That was just in the nick of time. If you don't know his range, I don't suggest you do that. There's always a risk with that, of course. We are nearly at half health with this guy, and we've not been in this dungeon for too long, so as you can see, arrows and bows do work if you have decent stuff. Okay, so this is how long it's taken me to take his health to this amount. So he's nearly at half health. From this point forth, I will be primarily focusing on applying cripple and hitting him. I wanted to show you how quick or slow, depending on how you look at it, his health goes down without the cripple if you just go for body shots. And so from this point forth, I'm just going to go for as many cripple shots as I can for the added damage, so you guys can make a bit of a difference as to how much of a difference these shots actually count and matter in this particular fight. I don't want him going around that way. I want to keep him here because we do also have obstacles between him and us, which is also an advantage for us because he does do a lunge. And we don't want him getting on top of us because it's gonna hurt. He's now just standing there looking pretty. Let's get his attention again. So that's what happens when you fire at his location and not before him. You will miss. So as you can see already, there's a bit more damage going to him. It is not necessarily a massive significance. However, shot for shot, it will accumulate and make a big difference with regards to the time you spend fighting this boss. I always choose to release my arrows on the heavy attacks after I hear the ping. Sometimes I do get carried away and assume the ping's coming up and do it before, but generally you want to hear or fire your shot just after the ping. He does have a very interesting style of walking. I mean, this guy would be a lot more difficult if he walked faster, but this way he's just a walk in the park. And so far, as you've seen, he's only landed one hit on me, and that was because I was foolish to be or decide to go around him quite close to his range attacks, which is what he did, and so that kind of got me. But also notice that I healed up quite nicely. I am in no danger whatsoever, and this is simply the safest way of doing it. Now, if I had points put into accuracy, that would have made a big difference, but that's alright, I can wait it out. I prefer taking the safer solution and option to dealing with this boss. Once he reaches the steps, I am going to go. Time for me to go now. I do not want to be hanging about there. I will be within his ranged attacks, so I don't want to have to deal with that. But notice already his health is going down quicker by a bit because I'm using both the heavy attacks, and I'm also constantly trying to cripple him for the additional boost in damage. Alright, so this is it. That's pretty much all we're going to be doing. I mean, as you can see, compared to the Frost Keep, this is not that difficult at all. Yes, they do apply corruption, but not a big problem whatsoever. It is annoying, but you can overcome it with having the heart of a hero, although you don't really actually need it. There's nothing really all that complicated about this boss if you stay out of his range. Okay, I'm gonna go to this end now. Also, by walking and not running, obviously this is logical, but I thought I might as well point it out. You are not using your stamina and allowing your stamina at the same time to regenerate for the heavy attacks on your bow, which of course require stamina. So that is one of the reasons where you will want to walk from your current location to the next location where you want to kite the boss. I will on occasions run, especially if I think I'm close to his AoE attacks or attacks that can get to me from a distance. So he should be nearly dead now. Well, he is nearly dead, but it shouldn't take many more hits to kill him. However, just to be safe, I'm just going to be here. You never know. I think he will end up dying before he actually reaches me, and this is just a guess. And there he goes, down he goes. That's it for this fight, not that complicated. If you loot him, this is what you get. Might as well get the good stuff off of him. You will want to harvest him. You will get the heart off of him, which will be used to craft the weapon. So that would be Teal of Sorrow, and I can't remember what the other one is called. If you continue harvesting him with a pick or pickaxe once you got the stuff off of him, as you saw there, you don't really get anything else, so not really much point in hitting him anymore. So let's see what I've learned. This is what we've got right here, the Silent Legion armor set. And where's the other one? There it is, right here. So these two will require his heart to craft, so you do want to pick that up. Obviously the tiers are required for the end game content. That is it for this particular boss, folks. I do hope that you have enjoyed it and found it useful and informative. If you have, please do not forget to support me and the channel by hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos. Also, why not check out some of my other videos here on this channel? Who knows, you might just enjoy them. And of course, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Links to this you can find down below in the video's description, as well as in a pinned comment from myself. Until next time, stay safe, folks.